I'm not making a video. I have tinted windows. You can't see through it. Truck broke down.
Not true. We're just going for a black ride.
I still haven't installed those floor mats, dude.
Yeah.
Do you smell that?
Yeah.
Like I mentioned it before, but this truck is so smelly. Like I was saying, it's because it didn't have the exhaust, but it also doesn't have all that emission stuff. So you're saying the emission stuff is worth it?
Well, having it on?
Yeah.
Depends on how you like the smell.
I mean, it's very expensive and it destroys the truck. All right, let's roll. Is it recording?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got some time. What is up, guys? I'm here with the Cummins at the off-road spot. Very appropriate place to make this video here today. So a question I've been getting is, why did I buy a Cummins instead of a DURAMAX or a POWERSTROKE? So the first truck I ever bought was a 2013 Chevrolet Silverado. I had it for a couple of years, and it was a 1500 gas. So you may be wondering, why did I go to a diesel? Well, I wanted the more power, I wanted the heavy-duty axles, the heavy-duty frame. I just wanted the better ability to do the mods that I have planned for this build. And I also wanted a turbo stock, so I didn't have to buy one and put it into a gas and then have to build up other components and stuff of that nature. And I think the 4th gen body style is the best Ram body style that you can get. Do you agree, Mike?
First gen.
I usually like newer ones. My first truck, like I said, is 2013. This is a 2011 4th gen, newest body style of the Ram. So I do like to stick with the newer trucks, but eventually I do want to buy like an old truck or something like that to be able to lift, put big mud tires on it and not have to worry about getting scratches on it or anything. So something that I could take mudding and really not have to carry about it. But I would probably fall in love with it anyway, because it would be one of the trucks that would join me on this journey of the Upshift Z71 channel. So about these trucks, I do like to keep very good care of them. As you can see, I've done a lot of maintenance and different stuff to make sure they last a long time. People have made fun of me for spray painting the truck and just being very nitpicky about trucks and how perfect I like to keep them. The thing is though, is that I do like the off-road these trucks. I do beat them up. My Silverado does not look anywhere near as perfect as it used to be. There has been times, especially in the winter time, that I really had to gas them hard and they've gotten really scratched up from the different off-road adventures that I've taken that truck on. This is the future, but I don't want to do too much, like I said before, until I get the lift and tires, which is the plan for this truck, and a lot of different performance stuff is also on the menu. Back to what I was looking for. I was actually looking for any diesel truck in general, the 3 American brands. I was trying to stay in that region. I know that Nissan came out with a Cummins. But I was trying to stick Ram. 20 to 30 range is where I was trying to stick. I wasn't trying to go for a brand new truck, but I also wasn't trying to go with something ancient, an ancient dinosaur. And this is definitely everything I'm looking for. It falls under the right category. I was looking for POWERSTROKEs, DURAMAXes, and Cummins. I wasn't specifically looking for this, but in the range that I was looking for, I was looking at very high mileage 6.7 POWERSTROKes. They were very high miles, and then there was the 6.0 and the 6.4, very infamous engines. A lot of people say bad things about the 6.0, that there's a lot of problems, and even if you do bulletproof them, you can still end up with problems, and especially because you're going to be going with aftermarket parts, and you're going to have to trust a shop to do that, unless you have the ability to do those modifications on your own. I wanted to go with a truck that was perfectly stock and perfectly running, so I can do mods and not have to worry about repairs and stuff down the road, because that costs a lot of money. So with Duramaxes, I was looking at a couple Duramaxes as well. I was either looking at a high mileage 07 to 13 body style Silverado, kind of like the Silverado that I have now. but I wasn't trying to go with the same exact body style. I do like the idea of having two Chevys, but I kind of wanted to switch it up and go with a different look. I know the front ends look a bit different. Many could say that I'm trying to copy a heavy duty look on my Silverado, as I've taken a lot of things off, painted the front and back bumper black, but I think that's good enough for me. That's as far as I want to go with the heavy duty 07 to 13 body style look, and my Silverado definitely pulls it off there. And if I wanted to go for lower miles, I would be going for the NBS, like the cat face Silverado, which is like around 2005. So I didn't want to go for something around that. That was just a bit too old for me. I wanted to go with something with the newer body style, so then I found Cummins, and originally I was actually looking for a 3rd gen because I thought that was the only thing and the only reasonable year range of truck that I could possibly get, but that was not the case. I started to see 6.7 in my price range, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna pull the plug on that. I was wondering, you know, why was 3rd gens and 4th gens in the same similar price range? Well, I realized that a lot of people wanted to go for the 5.9s. They didn't want to mess around with the emissions crap. They didn't want to have to tune their truck. They just wanted to get a reliable 5.9 that they've had since the early 90s. They knew that there's a good engine, which it is.
3 degrees, 500,000 miles.
It's actually one of the best. I'd say that the Cummins 5.9 and 6.7 E2 best engines ever made. And the reason I say that is because it is an inline 6 design. It lasts forever. You can even get the OBS forward with the inline 6, and that will last a long time. They stopped making it because just not enough power, and obviously they want to make more sales. So to sum it all up on why I didn't choose a POWERSTROKE or a DURAMAX, well, I wanted to specifically get something that had a solid axle. DURAMAX, Chevy in general, haven't had solid axles in their diesel trucks since I'd say the 90s, is that right? They have had IFS for a very long time. They're going to continue to do that on their heavy duty truck, and some argue that it's stronger than a solid axle, but I mean, I have IFS on my Silverado, so I did want to switch up the design and go with something different. I figured, well, the solid axle is easier to lift as well, and I haven't really heard that many problems with it, and Jeeps come with them, and Jeeps go off-roading all the time, so that's a positive thing there. So then that left me with POWERSTROKE or Cummins, and well, I wasn't very familiar with Fords. I was more familiar with Ram. I knew more people with Rams. If I were to pick between a new 6.7 POWERSTROKE or a new 6.7 Ram, I'd still probably go with the Cummins because of how famous they are for their amazing diesel engines and all the crazy stuff. Like, they're doing stuff in space now. They want to get their engines out there up into the sky, so that's crazy. So you may be thinking I switched over to Ram, I don't like Chevy anymore, but that's not the case. Chevy has the Allison transmission. That's the best transmission you can get, and this has a 68 FRE transmission. People say it's not that strong, but I'm also going to be easy on this transmission. I'm not going to be running the highest tunes all the time. I'm not going to blow it. And even if I were to blow it, swap in an Allison transmission, a lot of people can say that that is the best combination you can get. You take the best transmission company and you infuse it with the best diesel engine company, and it's an inline 6 engine design, you're going to get a vehicle that's going to last forever. Alright, there is somebody here on a 4-wheeler. Just spin around real quick. You're holding a piece of paper. It's like the paper is like your protest. People are gonna have no idea what we're talking about. I just have like a piece. Alright. So I've talked about this before on how I pulled the trigger on this Silverado, because these trucks.
Well, you fucked it up.
What?
What?
You said I pulled the trigger on this Silverado here.
Oh, really? Basically, why I pulled the trigger on this Cummins, besides the DURAMAX and POWERSTROKE, it was just the right truck, the right price, and the right time. I was calling hundreds of different places. I was trying to get the right exact truck for me, and if you don't act fast on trucks like these, because I was looking throughout the whole country, and if you don't act fast, people will buy it within like a day or two. Like, they will put a deposit down, they will come there down the road and buy it. People will come from all over the country to go to different parts of the country. Like, people will drive 8 hours, no problem to do this. I mean, I traveled 10 hours to pick this one up. People are looking for deals when it comes to these trucks. There's a big market for these Cummins. Even though it is a newer one and it is in the higher price range, there is all types of different buyers out there. And if you're looking for a truck like this, you got to make sure that you know what you're looking for and what you're buying. Because I've talked and looked at so many different kinds of trucks, looked at so many different pictures, and read so much information on forums, I knew that when I saw this truck, it was the right one for me. And now it's here, and it's the best one for the build. It's going to continue on, so I want you guys to
knock the crap out of them, would you? Seriously.
So I want you guys to subscribe, because there's a lot more mods coming. Things are going to get crazy and wild on the Upshift Z71 channel. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so I can see you next video. Have a nice day, guys.
See ya.